Hi, this is Evan Pantazi. I'm bringing a shout out to all the U.S. Martial arts instructors out there again. I'm based in the U.S. and we have a strong group in the U.S., not a widespread group. I've been spending the last 15, 20 years traveling more to Europe, South America, and Asia, and even Scandinavia. Working with the Kyusho to develop a good, strong Kyusho base. Now, we're not TCM based, we used to be, and I will say that we've gotten rid of that paradigm. That's the way I was shown in the beginning. Actually, in the beginning, it was more medical, and then it quickly changed over to the TCM, or the traditional Chinese medicine, or acupuncture and the pressure points. But, you know, I've studied with a lot of doctors, we've studied with scientists, I've mentioned on many, many tapes, and we found out what the real working mechanisms are. And funny enough, it goes back to the founders of the styles. You look at the notes of any great martial artist, from Mabuni to Motobu to Funakoshi, the list goes on. They're all real targets, their nerves, their vascular tissues. The Bubishi even is based on the blood system, so that's all vascular. It's not based on the pressure point. That was more of a modern add-on. And when you look back at the older scrolls, you see the targets, and there are, of course, pressure points all over the body. There's 361 pressure points on each side, and that's not even the extraordinary points, so there's even more than that. So of course they're going to overlie some structures, but the pressure points are not the working mechanism. It's not the fire melts metal, that's all bullshit. Okay, the pressure points themselves are not attacking nerves or vascular tissue. That's going into the fascia to relax the muscles and to release stress from the individual. The Kyusho, the real Kyusho, is attacking the blood systems, the organ systems, and the nerve systems of the human body. And that's what the old masters wrote about. They even copied the Bubishi. Now, the Bubishi, to me, it's an old text on military warfare, and it's based on a lot of the blood and the times. Now, you have the circadian rhythm, which is the times that the blood pumps through certain parts of the body a little bit more powerfully, we'll say. It's not the correct term, but something of that nature. So what the times are, in my opinion, and I've been working with this book for decades as well, is that some of these times are, if you took a target, say in the neck, it says 2 hours, okay? 2 hours is a death, okay? And that's because if you stab someone in a certain artery, they might bleed out in 2 hours. If you cut them in the femoral artery of the leg, for example, it'll take a little longer than if you cut, of course, the carotid sinus in the neck. But these are what the times refer to. And you got to remember that this book was written for military personnel to go out and kill other armies. And they were armed with spears and daggers and arrows and lances. And they're looking for these specific targets. And that's a lot of what the Bubishi is based on. And the hand-to-hand aspects were based on certain hand tools, the 6 hands of the Shaolin, or Rokushu, or the 6G hands, were designed to get into these blood vessels and blood organs to cause more damage, because they're sharper, and they use a torque instead of a pulsing action, a torque instead of a ballistic action, as a simple concussion. They twist into it, which shocks the systems or tears the vessels that way. So that's what we've been studying. We've found this out. We've correlated it back and forth with many doctors, many medical studies, scientific studies. We've done the brain waves for the neurological systems. We've checked EKGs, EEGs, you name it, we've checked it. And we've come to the conclusion that the old masters were dead on when they said, okay, this target will cause hypovolemic shock. Okay, that's something that you don't get in acupuncture. So again, if the old masters are telling you that, we listen to them, because they're the ones that founded the systems. And if you do a Shotokan, for example, or Shorin-ryu, you see the notes that were written by Ohan Soken or Funakoshi, and they're talking about these anatomical, medical, and physiological functions of the body and what they would cause. So if you're going off on a tangent looking at the pressure points, it's no wonder that a lot of people in the martial arts don't buy into it. And I bought into it a little bit. I taught it for a long period of time because I was in an organization that wanted to push that message. So I did, but all the time I was studying what was it really. And now that I found out, now that we're out on our own, then I can break the truth to the people, and I can back it up with demonstrations. I can back it up with doctors and scientists of all different types. Now, what I want to do for the U.S. arts is bring it back to the U.S. I've been away, and there's been a severe dip, I'll say, in the Kyusho in the U.S. comparatively to the European market, and now the South American market is picking up, and the Asian market as well. So I want to get the U.S. Martial arts stronger again, especially with the Kyusho. That's my focus. So give me a call. Contact me via the YouTube, or contact me via Kyusho.com. And we can set up an idea on how to integrate it into your school and your style. Now, I've done many different styles, 3 jujitsus, many different karates. I've done Tai Chis, I've done Wing Chuns, I've done Wushu. I've done a lot of different arts because I've been professional for over 40 years myself. So I know how to integrate it into your style, and it'll be a nice, easy way to introduce it to your school, to get your style to be even more efficient, even more effective. Not changing anything, just showing you how to do what you do already in a different targeted location with a specific tool and how to use it. Like Maruta Uke, that's in so many styles, and people use it mostly as a block. Well, there's so many powerful Kyusho answers to that. And also, if you have like a black belt club in your school, say you're a professional and you have a black belt club in your school, you want to give those people that are willing to give you the extra time to help them learn the martial art to a greater degree, like black belt level and beyond. You want to give them a more powerful answer, okay? You could say the Maruta Uke, for example, that's in a film that's already been released. Give them different answers for that, whereas the regular class, they're learning the blocks, so you don't lose the people that are in there just for the exercise and the fun of it, but you don't want to overburden their head with the technical issues of what it could be and the possibilities of what it could be when teamed up with real anatomy and Kyusho. So we can work together. You can do any kata you want, or you could do it in basics. I've done it all for people, and it's just to help the style grow, to help your school become stronger, and also to help the Kyusho market regain its credibility that's been stripped away by some, I will say, paper jockeys. We don't even have belts in the Kyusho international system, so all we're interested in is getting you up to speed on certain skills, and we can also give you an integrated business plan on how to do it the best way for your students, so nobody gets hurt, number one. People learn a vast degree more than they would in just typical block punch kick styles, and also to increase your potentials for your school. And that's what we're all about. So if you're in the U.S., please come on in and give us a contact, again, through Kyusho.com. I'll put the link below. Go through support, and or you could just message me here on YouTube, and we can start a discussion and see if it's going to work for you. Number one, we're not going to pressure you or anything. We'll just see how it's going to be viable for you, and then we can go from there if you want. So again, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy your day.